Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw results and Superstar spoilers. The current Sin Cara, formerly known as Hiliite, turned 39 years old on Monday, September the 5th. Glamour boy Shane Sewell turned 44 on Monday. Longtime Memphis promoter and TNA co-founder Jerry Jarrett turned 74 on Sunday. Also on the 4th, formerly known as Awesome Kong and Karma from WWE, turned 39 on Sunday. Real name Kia Stevens. Also on the 4th, Jinder Mahal, currently in Japan. Well, he finished up some commitments that he had before returning to WWE and met with Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki. So you show you a picture of that. Oh, well, actually in the link, Instagram.com/Jinder Mahal. Also on the 4th, Consequence Creed, Xaviar Woods, and Blake from NXT. Consequence Creed and Xaviar, both characters, born in 1986. Blake was born in 1987, the year I graduated high school. Karma was born in 1977. On the 3rd, September 3rd, Miss Cleavage. Never heard of her. Well, she was born in 1969. TJ Perkins, formerly known as Manic and Suicide, who just joined the Raw Cruiserweight division, had a birthday. On September 1st, former NXT superstar Solomon Crow, a.k.a. Sami Callihan, turned 29 years old, while former WWE superstar Jimmy Snuka Jr., Sim Snuka, turned 45 years old, and former TNA star Douglas Williams turned 44. Also would have been the birthday of 63rd birthday of former tag team champion Rocco Rock of Public Enemy, and 55th birthday of former WrestleMania main eventer Bam Bam Bigelow. Other birthdays on August 31st, Jeff Hardy. He was born in 1977. Mickie James, 1979. And Ember Moon, who just joined NXT. Well, and she was born in 1988. WWE recently applied the trademark Skull King for performance use, presumably for Triple H. Now they signed a 3-year contract. But that's not for certain. WWE applied for the same trademark back in 2014, but only for merchandise, not performance. Who is Kurt Angle voting for in his local election? As seen in the advertisement, this link here, Kurt Angle has officially thrown his support behind Rhino as his bid for Michigan State Representative, as he is administering an ankle lock to someone with whom he doesn't share the same political beliefs. He's not just an animal, and a bowling ball was named after this character. And find out in the video to find out what I already told you. Rhino. Reported last week, Bo Dallas was removed from WWE's tour of Mexico as a punishment for his public intoxication arrest and drama caused at a Dallas airport last week. Bo is scheduled to be at this week's Raw in Kansas City. Find out later in the results. I did not see the first half of Raw because I had personal business to take care of myself. This is why this video is being posted late. And is also scheduled to wrestle Ben Wang in his WWE debut from China at next Saturday's live event in Shanghai. Here's the latest link. I think it's episode 6 or 7. Rock the promo. It's number 6 from Rock's newest YouTube page, and the guest is Tommy Dreamer. Who really is the hottest free agents in WWE? Well, the 4 hottest free agents in WWE: The Rock, Luke Harper, The Undertaker, and Emma, of course. But that's according to WWE. Here's the thing that happened over the weekend from Mick Foley at Real Mick Foley. Hello, hashtag Louisville. I'm signing today from 12 to 8. A signed photo and photo op combo is $40. Have a nice day. Hashtag Days of the Dead. It's horror. And another person that was, I think I have a picture of that somewhere. Elvira was also advertised for the event. Well, she was at the Shreveport GeeksCon. I didn't care to get her autograph or anything. She wasn't in costume. I didn't even recognize her. Definitely not the photo he intended to use. It was a mistake considering it promotes TNA and is next this week. Advertising this week's episode, being Thursday. It's especially great because Foley is, of course, the general manager of Monday Night Raw, but he advertised TNA event. I'll post both of the pictures and we'll have the link if I find the TNA one. Follow at Real Mick Foley. That wasn't the ad he said for today's Days of the Dead in Louisville. See you today from 12 to 8. Anything for a laugh, huh, Mick? Well, it's an easy mistake to make. They both look like horror posters. And I just woke up, he said. I could delete the other one, but it's kind of funny, right? WWE has signed 22-year-old Alvin Abitz to a developmental deal. I think I have the picture posted for you. According to Casey of Squared Circle Sirens, who often reveals new signings, Al Bitz had a WWE Performance Center tryout back in May and is scheduled to report back to work for the company in October. He's 6'7", 290-pound athlete from Georgia. Has an MMA record of 1-1 and 0. The Square Circle Sirens also reports that WWE has signed a 24-year-old collegiate wrestler, Max Wessel, to a deal. I know I have his picture. He's also scheduled to report to Orlando in October. The news of Albert's signing was retweeted by Mark Henry, while Wessel's signing was retweeted by WWE's Gerald Briscoe. Again, show you a picture. Well, Albert's character is at this link. Picture is at this link. According to PW Insider, Luke Harper is scheduled to be at the WWE Performance Center this coming week as he tests his knee with the WWE trainers. Previously reported, Harper tore his ACL back on March 21st and was forced to undergo surgery. Alexa Bliss has an interview up that was up on September 1st as she was interviewed by USA Today. For the Win site to talk WWE SmackDown, her muscle fitness, hers cover, and more. Full interview. You can go to USA Today. At Backlash, you're in a six-pack challenge. That's a lot of bodies working in the ring at the same time. How are you preparing for what comes with that type of match? My preparation is focusing less on the other women in the ring. I'm focusing on how this is the first ever SmackDown Live Women's Championship and what I can do the best of my abilities to make sure I'm the last person standing. Other girls can do what they can do, but it's not going to match up to what I'm going to do. How do you end up with the name Alexa Bliss? Well, given your first name being Alexis, that seems obvious, but where did Bliss come from? It was one of the names that I pitched at the time I was playing around with being a Southern Belle type character in NXT and always say, bless your heart. For a Southern woman to say that, it was kind of an insulting tone. It ended up more like bliss your heart because of the accent. It became a play on words and not meaning a good thing, and there are so many ways to take it. Blissed off or bliss slap. I know it got approved. I know if it got approved, it would have been so much fun to play with. It's been out 6 weeks since the draft. What have been the biggest adjustments for you coming from NXT to SmackDown Live roster? Obviously, it's working in front of the bigger crowd, but the bigger adjustment has probably been switching schedules. We kept a very busy schedule in NXT, but it was more group-oriented. You just assume everyone in NXT is going everywhere. Now everyone gets their own schedule with where to be on what day. I like it better. I like it. It's a lot easier to work on my own schedule when I'm working out, when I'm getting in the ring and training on off days. We also do more live television. It's a little more nerve-wracking, but also exciting. It makes me think more about what are the things that I can apply in the ring, but I am comfortable without having a safety net. WWE's fewest female competitor, Ember Moon, recently sat down with Byron Saxon for WWE.com interview, and here are the highlights of that. What led to her to Booker T's reality wrestling promotion. After training with Vance Archer and General Scanner Arkbar, well, you know, Scanner Arkbar was world-class champion of wrestling with Kerry Von Erich and the Von Erich family. I drove 5 hours for a tryout and made the cut to be part of Booker T's reality wrestling promotion in Houston. In addition to being able to work his shows, I received full access to his training facility. Booker was one of the ones who helped me own in the high-flying aspect of my own moveset. Even though I was really comfortable in the ring, Booker gave me the confidence and motivation that I really needed to succeed in the wrestling world. Booker even suggested that I try to broaden my training by traveling around the world. How she would describe her ring style? My style is unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen next, but you could closely associate it with the blend of lucha libre and strong style. What's on our goal list now? That you finally made it to NXT. I look forward to raising the bar set by the 4 horsemen or women of NXT. They changed the way people view the women's division. I want to continue that. I am not a porcelain princess. I am here to break barriers. I not only want to change women's wrestling, but I also want to change the industry as a whole. This is the path that they choose, and the war I will take up arms for. It is a new beginning, and I am ready for it. Sirius XM host Sam Roberts sat down with Kevin Owens, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City over the SummerSlam weekend. Full video of the show can be seen at this link. Dave Meltzer noted on a recent edition of Wrestling Observer Radio that Sasha Banks was cleared earlier than expected because she didn't need surgery after WWE officials originally believed she would. Also noted, should be noted that some plans involving Bayley have been scrapped due to Sasha's return, but the Sasha vs. Charlotte rematch was always penciled in for Clash of Champions. After getting married twice, WWE US Champion Rusev and his new wife, Lana, are finally enjoying their honeymoon in Dubai after the second marriage ceremony. It appears both WWE Raw superstars will be absent from Raw along with the next 3 weeks, as I think Rusev requested a 23-day vacation. And show you some pictures of that. There was some speculation online this week that the band Downstate was working with CFOs on a new WWE theme song for Seth Rollins after they posted the clip just on Instagram.com/Downstate Band. The band, which is now no stranger to WWE, later clarified that they were just covering Rollins' theme. They issued a Twitter poll over the weekend asking fans which instrumental WWE theme would they like to see covered with vocals, with the choices being Rollins, Ambrose, or Universal Champion Kevin Owens. No results on that poll, though. Female enhancement talent that lost to Nia Jax on Raw from Kansas City was a Harley Race student, Monica Pezzeri, using the name of Ann Esposito, previously hosted WWE Afterburn in Italy. And Monica's backstage with her friend Alicia Fox. Show you a picture of that from Raw. The wrestler that lost to Bo Dallas from Raw from Kansas City was using his real name, Kyle Roberts. He is a WLW regular and also trained under the Hall of Famer Harley Race. It was announced that AJ Styles will confront WWE Champion Dean Ambrose in the middle of the ring during SmackDown Live from Lincoln, Nebraska. As noted, Ambrose will defend against Styles this coming Sunday at Backlash. It looks as though R-Truth and Stephanie McMahon will be working a rap for Connor's cure and Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. Me and Boss Lady at Steph McMahon are working on something supporting hashtag Connor's cure. Now that's what's up, as he tweeted on Twitter. Raw opened up with Kevin Owens winning the Universal title last week. interesting to note, WWE Music executive producer Jim Johnson, not regular CFOs, has released Jinder Mahal's entrance theme. And this link. Well, I'll go back to Raw. I think I split the thing. 2 weeks, more news on Bo Dallas being arrested at Texas airport for public intoxication, drunkenness, being removed from the tour of Mexico. Bo Dallas returned to Raw on tonight's show and, well, being pushed once again. Dallas was back to using his inspirational gimmick with some changes as he actually gets a win on Raw as he faced Kyle Roberts. Add Grand Metallic, Akira Tozawa, Jack Gallagher to the list of names confirmed for the Raw Cruiserweight division as it kicks off on September 19th from Memphis, Tennessee. Names previously included Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Cedric Alexander, Rick Swann, Brian Kendrick, Noam Dar, T.J. Perkins, formerly known as Manic, and I believe some promos on twitter.com /WWE. Well, Ciampa has an injury at an event, as he posted a picture of that. He also said at Project Ciampa on Twitter, chunk of my lip removed, 5 stitches to repair it. Maybe Cody will let me borrow his protective mask for later on in the evening. Former superstar Cody Rhodes is reportedly set to sign with TNA very soon. And Brandy Rhodes, his wife, at a PWG event, is doing his in-ring introductions. Dave Meltzer said he spoke with Cody at Pro Wrestling Guerrillas Battle Los Angeles this past weekend and learned that Cody has a deal in place to work with both TNA and Ring of Honor at the same time without being signed to either. Cody is reportedly scheduled to work with Mike Bennett in TNA after they worked together in Northeast Wrestling. It also appears that Brandy Rhodes, formerly Eden Styles, will be joining him, as there is about a 2-minute video. If you can do a search for PWG on YouTube, you can find it there. And we'll work a program with Maria Kanellis as well. September 2nd news, Xaviar Woods pitched an offer to Saturday Night Live Twitter account that WWE Tag Team Champions New Day will host an episode of their new season. Seth Rollins responded to Woods' tweet and said he wanted to host with them also. Well, WWE's website has picked up 4 others wanting to host SNL, issued a poll asking fans what superstar should host the episode. John Cena, Enzo Amore, and Cass, Chris Jericho, Bayley, Rollins, New Day, and champion Dean Ambrose, or WWE's champion Charlotte. As of right now, 24% with Enzo and Cass, while 22% for Cena, 20% for New Day, 10% with Jericho. Ambrose also gets 10%, and Bayley gets 7%. 6% rounds off Rollins. Mr. St. Laurent, who has broken WWE scoops in the past, spoke about Alberto Del Rio, Paige relationship with former WCW matchmaker Kevin Sullivan on the latest episode of MSL and Sullivan on MLWradio.com. Check out the episode at that link I just gave you. MSL revealed that WWE's Mark Serrano approached the couple and harassed them about being together and suggested to them that they split up. Mark Serrano, who fans might know as from Total Divas, kind of like the opposite Lee Eisen guy, approached Del Rio and Paige individually and harassed each of them about the relationship. It was indicated that the office wanted them to sever their romantic relationship. MSL continued on to say that WWE threatened to fire Paige if she did not split up with Del Rio. As he said, a lot of people speculated if this was the reason WWE split them up in the draft, and that's definitely what happened. The company did not want them together. They split them up in the draft by design, and they threatened to fire Paige if she did not break up with Del Rio. Well, to me, that's a form of sexual harassment. Well, it's harassment either way. As previously noted, Paige is currently serving a 30-day suspension for her first violation of the wellness policy. She also is dealing with back and shoulder injuries. Del Rio is reportedly done with WWE already after being unhappy over creative decisions for months now, and is now available anywhere to work immediately. Shamus is scene picked from a Atone movie where they were doing some editing as he was holding notes, a notepad, probably speaking or doing some voiceovers. Mick Foley and Noah Foley recently spoke with WWE website to promote their new Holy Foley WWE Network show. Full interview at this link for you. Highlights. Mick and Vince McMahon's reaction to the two. It was definitely Mr. McMahon who loved the chemistry between the two of us. He saw me and Noel in some footage together, and he thought it would make for a great entry into the family reality show for WWE. Some fans are aware that I kind of go in and out of favor, but deep down, Mr. McMahon always liked me, always respected me, and he wanted to know if I like to work with the company again. Noel wanting to get in the business. I watched my dad when I was younger, but then I stopped watching for a long time. I started watching again around 2010, 2011, and really watching it every single week now. So just watching it all, being backstage and meeting everyone, I have just always loved it. Like I said earlier, so many people look up to him, and I would love for people to look up to me. Mick, on a possible second season, we would love to do another season. It all depends on people watching. WWE taped the following matches tonight from Kansas City. For Superstars episode, Neville versus Curtis Axel, Titus O'Neil versus Jack Swagger, no dark match prior to Raw. Thanks to Chris Lockwell for texting in the following results for Raw broadcast. There wasn't no dark match. Superstars for this week, Neville defeated Curtis Axel. Titus O'Neil defeated Jack Swagger. Pre-show link, you can go to this for time restraints. And we go to the video from earlier with Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon backstage on the phone. Owens wants a proper celebration tonight. Stephanie wants to make sure everything is over the top for him. Raw General Manager Mick Foley walks up. He's not all smiles tonight. He says her husband Triple H made him look like a fool last week, and she won't return Foley's calls or anything. Stephanie doesn't have to defend something she doesn't know about. She insists that she doesn't know about Triple H interfering. Foley talks about how Stephanie has always been the young girl with a shy smile that he saw backstage after Hell in a Cell. No matter how successful and devious she became, Stephanie says she was embarrassed as a leader last week by her husband. Stephanie asked Foley to understand that she has nothing to do with what happened, and if she didn't respond to him, it's because she didn't know how. Stephanie wants Foley to tell her she's not the same person from then. Foley says she is, and he has to believe her, because if not, that makes her a liar and a really bad person. And he can't believe that. Foley walks off, and we go to the opening video. Live from Kansas City, Michael Cole songs, Corey Graves, Byron Saxon on commentary. Labor Day edition of Raw, balloons falling from the rafters. Stephanie and Mick Foley are already in the ring. Stephanie welcomes the Universal Champion, and out comes Kevin Owens to a pop. Owens comes out in a suit with a strap over his shoulder. Owens hits the rings and poses in the corner, and a bunch of pyro goes off on the stage. Streamers also fall into the crowd as the ring has red apron cover. Fans cheer on Owens as he strolls around the ring. A "You Deserve It" chant starts. Stephanie agrees with them. Owens says they are 100% right. What he doesn't deserve is a crowd full of idiots trying to hijack his moment. Owens says by chanting "You Deserve It," fans are trying to make it about themselves. Owens says the crowd is not great or special. He is. Owens knows he deserves it. He doesn't need anyone to tell him. He knows that since he stepped foot in the ring. Owens admits Triple H gave him the title nudge at the end of the match, but he already did 98% of the work. He says all Triple H did was make things right and put him where he belongs, at the top of this industry. Owens says tonight, Raw is officially known as the Kevin Owens Show. He raises the title to a mixed reaction. Music hits, and out comes Seth Rollins. Rollins his ring. Owens asks why he's here. Rollins says tells him to shut up. This isn't about Owens. Rollins is upset. He asks Stephanie why he was screwed. Owens says that this is absolutely about him because This is the Kevin Owens show. Rollins has no problem with Owens right now because he realizes Owens is just a puppet. But if Owens doesn't shut up, then not even Triple H will be able to help him. Foley stands up for Stephanie, and Rollins wonders if he's in her pocket. Foley says he's not, but he has her back. Rollins says if they want to make Owens the face of the new era, Rollins will make sure that he's one to burn it down. Rollins goes on, but Owens interrupts again. Owens wonders where his passion has been over the past few months. Owens says that the architect has only been designing blueprints for a total failure since coming back from his injury. Rollins says Owens nails Owens and beats him down. Owens rolls to the floor. Stephanie yells at Rollins to stop and listen. Owens comes up to the apron, but Rollins knocks him off. Stephanie announces that Rollins is suspended indefinitely. Fans boo, and Owens laughs. Foley says, no, Rollins is not suspended. Fans pop and cheer Foley's name. Stephanie stops in her tracks. Foley says she's acting if this is personal, but it's not. This is Raw. We don't hand out suspensions when someone's upset. We hand out rematches. This leads to Foley making Rollins versus Owens for Clash of Champions. Foley's music hits as Rollins leaves and Owens argues with Foley. Still comes segment, Bayley versus Charlotte in a non-title match. Back for the commercial, and Stephanie is backstage with Foley. She did hire him to make matches, but threatens to fire him if he goes over her head again. They heated up again before Owens walked up again. He's also not happy with Foley. Foley puts him in a match against Sami Zayn tonight. Chris Jericho walks up and rips into Foley for putting Sami in the match. Foley makes Jericho versus Rollins for tonight. Charlotte versus Bayley was up next. Back for the break. Out comes Charlotte for the non-title match. And then Dana Brooke is with her. She's carrying a clipboard as Charlotte has ordered her to take notes on how it should be done. To win, Bayley is out next to a pop. Bell rings in the lockup before breaking. Charlotte then takes Bayley down for a quick pin attempt as Dana looks on with a clipboard. They go to lock up again. Bayley goes behind. Charlotte elbows her and mushes her to the mat. Bayley tries to fight back, but Charlotte grabs her arm and works on it. Bayley comes back with a comeback and nails a few arm drags. Charlotte with a knee to the gut. Charlotte slams Bayley head first in the corner and poses to boos. Another shot to the corner, but it doesn't hurt Bayley. She hulks up each time and grabs Charlotte, slamming her head into the corner repeatedly. Charlotte goes to the floor for a breather. Bayley follows and trips, tries for a drop kick through the ropes, but botches and lands bad on her leg. This leads to Charlotte flooring Bayley on the floor. Commercial break. With Charlotte in control. Back for the break. Charlotte has Bayley in the head scissors. She slams her head into the mat a few times. Bayley makes a comeback and nails the crossbody. Bayley goes on, but Charlotte regains control after working on a bad leg. Charlotte stands tall and poses again. She goes on and applies a half crab in the middle of the ring. Bayley turns it around, kicks Charlotte off. Charlotte drives bad leg into the ring. Charlotte goes for a slam, but Bayley tries to counter her, and her leg goes out. Charlotte goes back to work on her leg. Bayley will roll up for a 2 count. Charlotte with a big chop, more back and forth action. Bayley with a springboard elbow out of the corner. Bayley unloads. Dana pulls Charlotte out of the way as Dana charges in the corner. Bayley kicks her. Charlotte rolls Bayley up. Bayley kicks her into Dana. Charlotte forearm sends Dana back. Bayley takes advantage and hits Bayley in the belly for the non-title win. After the match, Bayley stands tall and leaves as the music hits. Still to come, Sasha Banks is to deliver bad news tonight. Also, Jericho versus Rollins and Owens versus Zayn. Cole's all leads us to a video of new campaign for pediatric cancer awareness. Back from a break, get a cruiserweight division promo. Add Akira Tozawa, Jack Gallagher, and Graham Metallic that I said about earlier. We go backstage. Charlotte is furious with Dana Brooke for what just happened. Dana begs and promises to make it up to Charlotte. Charlotte delivers a nasty slap and walks off. Bo Dallas versus rookie Kyle Roberts. We go to the ring. Out comes Bo Dallas with a Believe in Bo sign. He introduced as the inspirational Bo Dallas character once again, but he's a little more intense. Bo enters the ring as his opponent waits. Bo addresses the local wrestler and tells him to believe in Bo. The bell rings and Bo floors the guy. Bo unloads and drops knees. Bo mounts with him with a strike and then picks him up for a bunch of knees. Bo goes on and gets a squash. Easy win. After the match, Bo raises his arms and walks around the ring with his sign. Still to come segment, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have a glimpse into the New Day's golden years. Probably more indie Fed guys imposing as them. No, I think this is where I caught the program in action. Well, backstage, Owens and Jericho walking backstage. Jericho promised to beat Rollins down tonight because Owens is his best friend. They hug and we go back to commercial. Seth Rollins versus Jericho was up next. Back for the break, out comes Jericho. Seth Rollins out to a pop. Bell rings and Rollins stands Jericho down as Jericho runs his mouth. Rollins rushes with a drop kick and unloads on Jericho. Jericho ends up going to the floor for a breather, but Rollins nails a big dive. Rollins beats Jericho around ringside and back into the ring. Jericho kicks Rollins as he comes to take back control. Referee warns Jericho as he beats Rollins down in the corner. Rollins ends up turning him back around and beating Jericho on the outside. We see Owens watching backstage. They come back in and Jericho uses referee to take back control. Kicking Rollins off the apron. We go to commercial. Back from the break. More back and forth. Rollins nails the sling blade for a 2 count. Rollins nails forearms in the corner. Rollins keeps control after another close 2 count. Back and forth again. Rollins springboards in with a knee, but gets put in the walls of Jericho. Rollins makes it to ropes as we see Owens watching backstage again. Jericho talks trash and eats an enziguri. Rollins with another 2 count. Fan chant for Rollins. Rollins goes to the top, but Jericho cuts him off. Jericho tries for a superplex, but Rollins slams him to the mat. Rollins misses a big splash. Jericho hits the lion top for a 2 count. More back and forth encounters. Rollins finally nails pedigree for the win. After the match, Rollins stands tall before making his exit. Still to come segment, Owens versus Sammy. Sasha Banks appears. And Cesaro versus Shamus. Back to commercial. Best of 7 series. Best of 7 series. Match number 3. Shamus versus Cesaro. This is nothing more than a squash match to me. Back from a break, out comes Cesaro. Shamus was out with a 2-0 lead. We see a sidebar interview from earlier with both men seeming confident. Bell rings and Cesaro unloads the start. Cesaro keeps control for a few minutes until Shamus lands a big backdrop. Cesaro goes to the floor for a breather. Shamus follows and eats a clothesline. Shamus comes back and keeps control with power moves and pin attempt. He has several Irish curse backbreakers in a row before Cesaro kicks out. Shamus goes for a Celtic cross and drops Cesaro over his knee. Referee backs Shamus off. Checks on Cesaro. Shamus nails a bro kick for the win, going 3-0. After the match, Shamus stands tall. Cesaro tries to recover. Sasha Banks still to come segment. Back to commercial. Back from the break. We get backstage segment between Owens and Sami Zayn. They get a glimpse. Get backstage segment between. Okay. Did that. Owens says the title proves he's better than Sammy. With their backstage thing, Sammy reminds us that he's pinned Owens at Battleground. Sammy says their story will never be over and he will win the Universal title belt. But when he does, he won't need Triple H to hand it to him on a silver platter. Nia Jax versus Ann Esposito. We go to the ring. Out comes Nia Jax as her opponent. Ann Esposito waits in the ring and gives us gives Nia some trouble, but she picks up another squash win. Nothing more than a slam. Squash slam, that's what I want to say. And win. Back from another commercial break, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson were out. They show us a glimpse of what is into the future of WWE Tag Team Champions New Day. A slower version of their theme hits with an older sounding Big E giving the intro. 3 guys dressed as senior citizens version of the New Day come out using a cane, a walker, and a scooter. Gallows and Anderson help them into the ring. Leads us to the new Real Day coming out. Gallows and Anderson leave the ring. New Day ends the segment by beating up the posers and removing their wigs and what have you, giving them a chance to leave. Well, obviously, some of one or two guys didn't. Still to come segment, Owens versus Sammy back to commercial. Back from the break, we'll see how the set ramp and ring posts were decorated for college cure and pediatric cancer awareness month. Jinder Mahal versus Darren Young was up next. We go to ring. General Hall will waits in the ring as Darren Young comes out with a Hall of Famer Bob Backlund. Toss of Neal commentary, back and forth start. Young with a neck breaker and an early 2 count. Jinder turns it back around and works Young over for a pin attempt. Jinder keeps control with and dropped a big knee for a 2 count. Young makes a big comeback, and Titus made his way down for an interference. A distraction. Titus distracted Young, allowing Jinder to roll him up for a 2 count. Young comes back with a gut check for the win. After the match, Titus looks to prepare to attack Backlund on the outside, but Young attacked him from behind. Young unloads to Titus, the referee pulls him back. Fans are going crazy for Young now. Young goes back at it, and the referees are down to separate them. Young is stabbed as the referees and security has broke him up a couple of times. Attacking Titus, and Backlund looks on. Young keeps breaking free and attacking Titus. He goes back in the ring, celebrates with Backlund, and as Backlund is all hugging him, jumping on him, like, that's the Darren Young. What do you want? Titus looks on the ramp as the segment ends. Alicia Fox backstage coming out of trainer's room after checking on her friend, and Nia Jax approaches her and rubs it in. Nia Jax, I should say. This leads to Alicia snapping and telling Nia to get out of her face. She shoves her into a table and walks off. Alicia yells for Nia to come back and take it out like a real woman as we go to commercial. Braun Strowman versus Sin Cara. Back from the break, out comes Braun Strowman. Tom Phillips backstage with his opponent, Sin Cara. Sin Cara says he requested this match because Braun ripped his mask off of America's last week. Cara says he won't let anyone disrespect the lucha culture. Out next comes Sin Cara on his birthday. Sin Cara immediately attacked, but Braun takes him in the corner. Braun keeps control and blocks the comeback attempt. Braun runs over to Sin Cara with a big clothesline and stomps on him. I didn't hear no ring bell, so I wonder if there was a officially match. Braun with more offense before keeping Cara grounded. Sin Cara broke it up and fought out, but Braun tossed him to the floor. Braun followed, but got kicked in the head. Cara with another kick, but some shots, but Braun tossed him in anyways. Sin Cara jumped off the steel steps with a drop kick into the barrier. Sin Cara goes back in the ring, but Braun pulls him out by his leg, sending him into the barrier. Braun comes back in as the referee counts Sin Cara out. So I guess there was a bell. Winner by count out, Braun Strowman. After the match, Braun stood tall before going outside, running over Sin Cara from behind. Braun's music hit, and he laughed before making his exit as Sin Cara was checked on at ringside. Still to come segment, Sasha Banks will be here. Back to commercial. After break, Sasha was out to a big pop wearing street clothes. Fan chant her name as she takes a mic. Well, she looks to get emotional when mentioning stories coming to an end. Well, everybody thought that she was going to retire. She talks about how before social media, there was a revolution with people like Mae Young, Fabulous Moolah, Trish Stratus, Lita, and others. As a fan, every time she mentioned the names, the fans cheered. She goes on to talk about the current revolution with no stupid butterfly title and no more bra and panties matches. She said they did it. They did it. They finally got what they deserved all along, to be called superstars. Sasha says the revolution is more than WWE. It's every mother, sister, and daughter. Sasha says her revolution is every time she steps in the ring. She does it for everyone who dreams. She goes on and says every time she's in the ring, it means everything to her. Sasha says she was pushed beyond her limits by Charlotte at SummerSlam. She says Charlotte tried to break her back, but she's not out here to make excuses. She got beat straight up. She says she met with doctors earlier today and has an update on her condition. Sasha says she's got some bad news. Well, I thought it was going to be Bad News Bear style. The music hit. Out comes Dana Brooke to interrupt. Dana says the only champion we need is Charlotte. and she made a promise to Charlotte that she's going to keep. Dana plans on using Sasha's broken body to better and finish what Charlotte started. Dana goes to attack, but Sasha counters and defies the bank statement. Sasha says the bad news was for Charlotte because the boss is back and she's coming for the title at Clash of Champions. Sasha makes her exit to a pop. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens are up next. After a break, Sami came out for tonight's main event. Universal Champion versus Kevin Owens is out next for his non-title match. Bell rings and they unload on each other in the middle of the ring. Owens goes to the floor for a breather, but Sami followed. Owens countered and sends Sami into the barrier. Owens brings it back in the ring, more back and forth. Sami sends Owens to the floor. Owens pulls him out and sends him into the barrier again. Sami ends up hitting the moonsault from the top of the barrier back to commercial. Back for the break, Owens is in control after nailing a super kick from the commercial. During the commercial, Owens drops Sami and hits the senton for a 2 count. Owens beats Sami around, yells at him. Sami fights back and sends Owens over the top. Sami runs the ropes and nails a big dive. Sami ends up hitting another dive on the side of the ring. Sami brings it back in for the blue thunderbomb. And a 2 count. Sami comes back with a clothesline but misses the corner cannonball. Sami with an exploder suplex. Owens dodges the hell of the haluva kick. I've been calling it a hell of a kick. And rolls to the floor. They tangle on the apron for a minute. More back and forth. Sami avoids a pop-up powerbomb and drops Owens on the neck for a 2 count. It looked sickening. Kind of like a brainbuster type. Sami ended up going down on his bad ankle. He rolls to the floor for a breather as the referee checks on him. Looked like they were going to stop the match at that point. Sami tells the referee not to stop the match. Owens comes back but gets countered as Sami nails a half Nelson suplex on the floor. Sami brings it back inside the ring, but his ankle gives out again. Trying for a haluva kick. Owens super kicks him and nails a pop-up powerbomb for the win. After the match, Owens the celebration cut short. As music hits, out comes Roman Reigns with a very mixed reaction. Reigns marches to ringside and stares Owens down. Owens watches on while clutching his title. Reigns in his ring stares at Owens. Owens backs off and leaves the ring, talking trash. From the apron, Chris Jericho comes out. Mick Foley interrupts and says he could tell Reigns he wants a piece of Owens' title. Next week in Baltimore, it will be Reigns versus Owens. And if Reigns wins, the match at Clash of Champions will be Owens defeating against Rollins and Reigns in a triple threat. Foley's music hits, and as Owens and Reigns have words, Jericho tries to attack, but Reigns spears him. Reigns' music hits, and Owens talks trash from ringside. Raw goes off the air, with Reigns standing tall as Owens looks on. After all went off the air, Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho attacked Roman Reigns, leading to Seth Rollins running to make the save off of Reigns. Well, Reigns turns around and spears Rollins, as you can see the video at this link. And also, after all, Kofi Kingston tweeted that the t-shirts worn by the New Day on last night's Raw are FIE exclusives. The store is currently selling that shirt and the Booty-O cereal as a combo pack for $25.99. And that concludes my Raw and Superstars spoilers. Thanks again. Peace out. See you want to be. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.